It's. Are you recording?
Yeah.
All right. So I go over to Staples today to print out all the tasks,
Okay.
right? And I go over to where there's the print section, and it's like all they have is loose leaf paper. So I'm like, oh, no, I don't want loose leaf
What?
paper. Like, I want it to be thicker paper, right? So like in the self-service area is the loose leaf. Okay.
When you say loose leaf, do you just mean singles or do you mean like with the lines? Like,
No, I just mean like printer paper.
oh, okay,
Sorry,
okay, okay,
not
okay,
loose leaf.
okay.
Yeah,
All
not.
right.
I just mean
Okay.
loose. I just mean that
Sure.
it's loose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Like,
So
wow, this is really weird.
yeah, no. I know. Let's start off with a bagger. No, okay. So so I'm like this is not good. Like you guys might be able to read the task through the paper. Plus the wax seal
Mm.
might not take or just rip. It won't look good. So I'm like, all right, let me go over to the actual print section and let me get someone to help me. So I go over and I'm like, hi, do you have thick paper? Right? Because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So he
Yeah.
goes, what do you mean thick paper? So I'm like, just hard paper. And he goes, what do you mean hard paper? I'm like, look,
Hard-
I'm trying. So
A
I'm like,
robust paper.
yeah, I'm like something that is gonna bend, but like there's a little give, right? Like something that's like a little
Sure.
bit sturdier. So he goes, oh, okay. He goes, well, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh,
Oh boy.
So I'm like, oh, I just need like thicker paper. And he goes, like, for what? Like a birthday card? Like what? What do you need it for? And I'm like, to me already, I'm thinking, what the fuck? Like, I get the customer service. Like, he's trying to maybe give me, like, pair me with the right paper. So I go,
He's also bored out of his mind
yeah.
because he doesn't,
So I go, I'm doing this project. I'm just doing this project. And he goes, project? What kind of project?
you got
And I'm
some kind
like,
of manifesto. You,
yeah. So he's like, what kind of project? And I'm like, oh, just this project with my friends. Like, we're doing these tasks. And he goes, oh, now you have me intrigued. What are you talking about? And I'm like, oh,
me
okay.
intrigued. Wait. What does this guy look like? What is
All
the
right.
age?
Okay.
What
So
is
he's
the
about he looks about our age.
okay?
Maybe younger. He's in that
Okay. He's
like
around 30.
muddled 30s area where
Okay.
it's like I'm not sure if I'm young or old
Yeah.
or what is going
So I
on here.
shaved today. I look significantly younger than I did when we
Yeah.
recorded yesterday.
Yeah.
It can
I
be
mean,
anywhere.
I would look a lot younger if I lost some of these jowls, but food
Yeah.
is just calling my name. But anyway, so he goes, "Oh, I'm intrigued. Like, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Okay. Have you ever heard of the show Taskmaster?" And he was like, "No." And I'm like, "Okay, well, it's a UK
Oh
show.
my God.
It's a UK show. My friends and I are like doing a mock of it. Like, you send these tasks to people, and they complete the task, and we're doing it as like a fun thing." And he goes, "Oh, okay. So so you're gonna send these to your friends?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Okay. So what kind of stuff are we talking?" And I'm like, "Well, all the information's on the task." No, but I said look,
That would have been so good.
I know. But I was like, no, it's just like I just need I was like, look, like I just need like 5 copies. Like the tests are all there. Like I have like instructions. I just need like 5 copies. He says, okay. He brings back 3 pieces of paper, right? 3 different thicknesses. And
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like, all right, this looks a little too thick. I'm like, Goldilocks, here we go. Let's do it. And
Great.
he goes, okay, send me the document. And I said, okay. He goes, are you guys just doing this like for fun? Or it's like,
Oh yeah, here we go.
so I'm like, no, we're actually on a show. We're doing it for a podcast. He was like, well, how are people going to see like the tasks if you're doing it on a podcast? Like, oh, it's on video. It'll be on YouTube or whatever. And he was like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. I'm like, yep. So then he's looking at the document and he goes, oh, wait, so you want 5 copies of all, because I'm making 2 extra just in case things get fucked up.
Sure.
And he goes, well, wait, how many are they doing? And I'm like, well, this number. And he goes, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like maybe 2 or 3 is just better to do. Like, people, are busy and stuff. I'm like, okay, well, look, like we tried 2 or 3 last time.
You're having to explain this to him and like argue. This guy who works at Staples is trying to produce the show for you.
So yeah, so he's like, well, I feel like 2 or 3 would be better. Like, the amount of time people have and stuff. I'm like, well, we did that 2 years ago. Like, we thought maybe we would have more time at home, so they'll be able to do more at home. He goes, okay, so you want all the copies of this? How many people are doing this? I'm like, 3. He goes, well, then why 5? And I go, well, because I might fuck it up. He goes, well, what do you mean? what do you mean? And I said, well, I'm sealing
Get
these
lost
with
in the
wax.
mail.
Well, no, I go, I'm sealing these with wax. And he
Oh
goes,
yeah.
what do you mean I'm like, well, like I'm pouring wax. And he goes, wow, this is something. And in my mind, I almost wanted to blame this like all on an imaginary friend. And just at the end, be
Sure.
like, look, I don't know, man. Like my friend sent me here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just
I'm
following his
surprised you didn't. You
instructions.
just be like, my friend Chris did made me do this because
Yeah.
I told you
I
I used to always just use your name in like Delaware for things.
Yeah. Well, I thought about it, but I was like, okay, like this will be a quick convo. All right. So then some people are behind me now. Okay. People are lining up.
Oh wow, yeah,
So then the
because
guy behind
there's
me,
no employees there, so
yeah. So the guy behind me is like, is there anyone else that can help us? There's like four. I turn around, there's four people waiting.
you're like, I
As
don't
we're
want to
having,
chit chat. He keeps asking questions.
as we're just having a conversation about tasks.
Yeah,
And then
this is
so he
great.
prints it out. It's wrong. Okay. He comes over to me and he goes, oh shit, I printed it on the loose paper. I was like,
That's not your problem.
yeah,
That's his problem.
so then he just looks at me as if like maybe I'll take it, and I go, well, I really need it on the harder paper. He
Right.
goes, okay. And he goes back and he prints it out. And the guy behind me, the sigh, and like, I don't want to be the problem. I'm sorry that I'm the problem right now. I'm really sorry. Like it's a 5-minute job, right?
Yeah.
Turned into a, I'm not kidding you. I was there for a
Yeah.
half an hour.
I
I
believe
was there
it.
for half an hour.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I got it, right? We're good. We're good to go. You'll be getting your tasks in the mail soon.
Great.
But I was mortified because when I turned around and saw four people standing behind me, I was like, I'm the fucking Karen at Staples. I'm like telling him no, that the paper's not good. You got to reprint, like having a chit chat conversation. So I was just like, and I ran out, and my boss called me while I was out too. So I was like, fuck, like what was supposed to be a very quick
Just
in and
in and
out.
out. In and out. Yep.
It was a half hour at Staples.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Like, yeah. So dude.
What's funny about this though is what you just described is exactly the same way I would have done it, because I just like, if someone like the people, I'll just be polite, I'll just answer their questions, but then it's just gonna get more questions. Whereas like whenever I go somewhere with Teresa, she doesn't like me to talk to the person because I will always end up accidentally making the interaction really long. So like when we went to the water park place and I'm like talking to the guy about like, well, I'm on the website and this was the price, because in my head I'm like, these people don't want conflict.
Yeah.
And if I play stupid, they're like, now I got to explain to them that the price is different. And so it's like a confusion. Like, where's Teresa comes in? She goes, listen, can we just get the ones that we pay for?
Right.
Because like you could have just been like, it's just for a work project. Like I just need it on this paper. Can you just do it? Like you could just do that, but then you'd be rude. And I would be
rude. And I try not to be. And I try to understand, what he's trying to get at. Like I'm sure he has to ask the question. I'm sure in training they've told him to try to align the product with the customer and all that crap. But at one point I did just want to say, like, look, man, like I just need 5 copies of this. I don't give a shit how you do it. Just give me 5 copies.
Yes.
And the best part, I forgot to mention this.
If it was like a work thing, you would have done that. But because it's for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Like you could have just been like, oh, it's because you also didn't want to like come up with a lie. You're just being honest. You're just answering questions. But if it was a work thing, you'd be like, oh, it's legal documents. I just need this. I can't really talk about it.
Well, he's going to look at them and go, these are legal documents.
Oh yeah, that's good.
But I almost did want to be like, look, I can't talk. I got to go. Right. And I almost wanted to make up that it was for you. But then I was like, no, he's going to catch me out. Like this guy's on it. Like he's listening to what I'm saying. He's on it. If I flub this up, if I say like, oh, I need
it is too weird to just come up with something on the spot.
Yeah, I couldn't. Well, I was thinking of just blaming the entire thing on you, and then I was almost gonna have a fake. I was almost gonna have a fake conversation with you on the phone and say like, this is what he wants. You know what I mean? But then I was like, no, don't do that, because if he can see your phone not lit up when it pulls away from your face and he calls you out that you weren't actually on the phone, you're gonna look like more of an ass. So at the end of the day, though, he was like, oh, this all sounds really cool. Didn't ask me what the name of the podcast was.
Oh, that's good though, because now you get to record this. Because this is what I was wondering. I was like, did you tell him? Because we are recording this.
You didn't ask.
And the idea that like you decided to not be rude the whole time, and then he's gonna watch it and hear this.
Yeah.
be amazing.
So there you go.
That's great. I love
Yeah.
it.
I figured this would be somewhere. You could put this somewhere. I don't know.
Sometimes you got to just get them while they're hot.
Yeah, it was fresh in my mind. I was like, there's
I was
no way I'm
wondering
gonna
why
remember
you
all the
didn't,
details.
because I got that text from you like what, an hour and a half ago at this point, or a little bit longer, and I'm like, how come he hasn't responded about this Staples thing?
Yeah,
Like he told me he has a story about Staples, and
because
I'm like,
I was rushing home too, because I'm like
yeah,
rushing because I told Brittany the same thing. I'm like, the customer service experience I'm having here at Staples. So I had to explain it to her. Then I get home, and then we wanted Starbucks, and then my boss was calling. So I was like, again, I was like, fuck. So I'm just like, come home, come downstairs. I'm like, turn the computer back on. Like, fuck. It's supposed to be 10 minutes. I was out there.
that's unbelievable.
When are you guys leaving?
Therese is on one more call, and then we're gonna go.
Yeah. All right. Good thing I caught you now then.
Yeah. I mean, I would have been in the car. So
Yeah.
I guess I could have screen recorded from the phone, but that would have been weird while I'm driving.
Would have been
Like,
weird.
oh yeah, tell me about it.
Tell me what the thing going on.
I would do it though, is the thing. And Therese would be like, can you not? You're driving. I'd be like, fine, can you hold the phone?
Right,
point
hold
it
the
at
phone.
me. I'll do it like this.
Yes. Unbelievable.
Actually, that would have been better.
Probably would have been. But my urgency to tell you this story would become even more apparent that you're driving.
Where do we just put this?
I don't know.
Where do we put this? I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe we just throw it up on the feed.
Yeah, you just throw it up there. Because I haven't spoiled anything. So
it's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
There you go. Friday afternoon fun.
Friday afternoon fun. All right.
There you go.
Later, bud.
All right, see you later, bud.